Hey, y'all. All right, y'all. So it is your girl, Jamaica Anderson. I am back with another day of information. So yesterday we talked about vibrations, and today I wanted to come to you and kind of just give you, I was discussing thoughts and thought patterns in that video. So I kind of wanted to talk about that before, I get to the next video and I go to explain the whole lot of whatever else, right? That comes to mind. So y'all always know I got my little notebook and I always have to read the definitions because I want you guys to at least have what is, I mean, is readily available to you, but I want you to be able to hear what is explicitly provided for you, right? To give us some foundation before I start to expound and give you my own personal preference or ideas. So I'm going to start with the dictionary, dictionary.com. I did look at the other one, the other dictionary, but it was pretty much the same. Y'all know, because I like to do the etymology and all that stuff, but we're not going through all that today. Today my stuff fell on the floor, y'all. But anyway, so today for the most part, we're just gonna stick with a basic definition. So thoughts from the dictionary. A thought is an idea or an opinion produced by thinking or occurring suddenly in the mind. And then it says the action, the process of thinking. And then that's from dictionary.com. That's just very basic for you. And then of course I looked up thought forms. That's not really in the dictionary, just doing like a basic generic Google search so that I can have some words for myself to at least piece together what I believe it to mean and to be. And then moving forward from there to kind of build on it. We always need a good foundation, right? So thought forms, it says it is made of energy and mental matter, right? So your thought form is made of energy and of mental matter, which makes sense because we talked about the mind in a previous video, and we stated that the mind is your perception and your feelings, right? So your perception and your feelings give off a type of energy. The body is a energetic being, or you have a energetic body. And I may not have talked about that, so that may also be a video that's coming up soon. But you do have an energetic body, and you can always Google that and they'll show you this is your neurology, right? This is your neurons. They send messages through energy pathways. But mental matter, just so that you can understand the basic definition for it, or just get a basic understanding. Mental matter is emotional, psychological, and social well-being. So mental matter is your emotional, your psychological, and your social well-being. So a thought form is made up of energy and your emotions, your psychological, and your social well-being. That's just a simple way to explain it. So your mental matter also, it is what affects how you think, how one thinks, how they feel, how they act. So put my notes to the side a little bit, but I have this firm belief. So I talk about this when usually on Clubhouse, because I'm on Clubhouse a lot, or if you're in my classes, like I refer to this a lot, but I talk about a baby fetus. And in my mind, this has always been something that I thought, and then most recently somebody else proved it through some Eastern medicine. But needless to say, but let's digress. In my mind, if you think about a fetus, when you see the photo of a fetus, the baby is curled up like this. And in there, a lot of times they'll usually have like a red light to show the heart, or something of that nature, right? But when they're curled up like this, you have the mind, the heart, and the stomach all in a central location. And so as the baby grows, the three start to separate. And so I say, and I totally believe, and it's documented, I've seen it in other places, so you can y'all, I be over here looking at these books. Yeah, I got books on top of books. But I believe, I know Joe Dispenza talks about it a little bit. So like, y'all, every time I have an idea, I have a thought, right? We talk about thought forms. When I have a thought, and I'm like, yeah, I know that to be true, or I believe that to be true, usually I find one of my books And I go through and I start reading. Y'all can't really see because of the background, but I start reading and no, that ain't work either. I'm gonna leave it alone, y'all. Anyway, I start reading these books and they prove what I believe to be true, what I know to be true. And so, excuse me, so sorry. So let me finish one thought before I begin the next. So when we're talking about a baby fetus, I believe that the heart, the the mind, the brain, and the gut, the stomach, all is in one center location. And as the baby grows, it starts to develop and it starts to push out. I believe that you currently, as an adult, you have three brains, and those three brains is one, the brain that you know of that you've been taught is it does your thinking process. As two, your heart. This is why a lot of people say, oh, I feel this way, but my heart and my mind, they're fighting against each other. I don't know which one I should believe. Should I believe my heart or should I believe my mind? And then you have your gut. And your gut, sometimes I just got this gut feeling that X, Y, and Z is happening. And then it turns out to be true. So I believe that you have three brains. And those three brains is those three vehicles, right? Your mind, your heart, and your gut. And they grew together and then they grew apart. And our job is to take this opportunity, take this journey that we're on as people, and to align all three so that we can start being more of a super being, right? And I say that because, and the reason why I chose that was because like I said, I read these books, and one is Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural. And Dispenza is spelled Dispenza. And what he does, the book it's a lot of scientific information. And then he provides, some of his studies that he's done, and also some of the results, or he has like a conversation with you concerning some of the individuals that he's worked with. But in his work, he talks more so in this book, I believe, to be about the mind and the heart being a amplifier of the mind. So it's about, and there's plenty, when I say plenty, there's plenty. I'm looking around my table up here, but there's plenty of books, like even The Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard, I guess. So it's Neville, first name Neville, last name Goddard, Goddard. Goddard. He has a few different books, but he too, and Deepak Chopra, and y'all, I don't know, that was random. So don't let me get too focused on all these books that I got over here on this table. But a lot of these individuals, they talk about aligning your thoughts with your feelings. And like what I say in Joe Dispenza's book, what he says is that the heart becomes a magnifier. Your feelings magnify the thoughts that you have, and then they come to you even quicker. And I don't know if I've talked about manifestation yet, but that is going to be within the next couple of days. And so if you see this first or see that last, or however it is, a lot of these videos go hand in hand together. Like I say, they are really just gradual steps into coming into a different understanding of some of these terminologies that we hear all the time, as people are becoming more aware, coming more conscious, right? Awoken, I don't know what you want to call it, but as they open up their spiritual side and become more aligned. So just going back some, because I know I've said a whole lot. That's what happened when you don't have notes. I'm sorry, y'all. I be trying to stay on task. So what I was talking about was your thoughts and your thought forms. So one of the things that I know to be true is that we have thoughts that that come up and pop up in our brain that don't really belong to us. Thoughts have energy. And I don't know if I did a video on energy, but I should, and I will. So energy has its own pull, right? When you and you guys recognize that, it's just like when people talk about like what we talked about yesterday, which was vibration, right? Or vibing out with somebody. That deals with energy too. But energy has its own pull. This is why you can go into a room and you could be like, oh, you can cut the tension in here with a knife, or you go into the room and it just you become more peaceful because everyone's energy is at a peaceful state. But energy can be exuded, right, from one particular person to a like almost like a mesh of people, right? When one group of people is all in the same network and have a same I'm trying to think of the best word. Y'all, please excuse me because I do got a little headache right now because I'm on a cleanse. I'm on a 72-hour water cleanse and it's hour 60 something and my head is like, Urgh. But anyway, no excuses. We're gonna get this done. So there is a mesh pretty much. So again, this will come up more when I talk about chakras and I talk about auras and stuff like that. But what you can think about is yesterday when I introduced vibrations, I talked about torrid fields, I believe. And I may need to do a video all about torrid fields, but the torrid field is the energy that one is magnifying. And so as you magnify a particular energy, that's just like a radio, tuning a radio into a particular wavelength. If everyone is tuned into that wavelength, even the people who come out, who come into that space, even if they are not on that wavelength, they will adjust based on what is there and what is being carried on a natural mesh. And you can even think about that in terms of your internet, right? So with your Wi-Fi, when you can have your own standalone phone and have your own internet carrier, right? Or you can connect to the Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi is that mesh where everyone is connected, everyone is doing or feeling roughly the same. And again, this can be both good, bad, indifferent. I don't really believe in good and bad. It's just, it is what it is, right? It is just energy. Everything is constantly moving. So thought forms. When I was talking about thoughts and thought forms, sometimes you could be in a particular state where you may be thinking something positive about yourself. You'll be like, oh, I think I look good today. I looked in the mirror. Oh, you look so good. And you'll see something that's out of the way, your hair or something out of the way, and you'll just like move it. Just like that. Or and in that particular moment, I'm not thinking nothing crazy about the thought form, but then nothing crazy in my thoughts. But then sometimes, you may be like, oh, my hair is always X, Y, and Z, something negative. Usually those are thought forms that are given to you. And I was reading this book called, I wrote it down, y'all, so wait. The Body is Not an Apology by Sonia Renee Taylor. So if y'all have not checked that book out, please make sure you go order the book, read it. It's on Audible as well. So it's called The Body is Not an Apology by Sonia Renee Taylor. And she is, the writing is amazing. It's really good. And what she does is she talks about within that book, right? Because I'm only going to talk about what I need at this moment. But someone was talking about the book, and as they were talking, I was like, dang, she sounds like she's talking about the stuff that I talk about in my class. She coming at it from a different point of view and a different standpoint. However, I'm like, I got to hear her version of it, her side of it. And so I was reading it, and she talked about your thoughts, and she was just kind of like, what was the comment? So pretty much she said that a lot of times we are disconnected from our thoughts, which of course I totally agree with her with that. And I think I wrote it down, y'all. Let me see. Oh, so yeah. So she was talking about this thing about the thoughts being on autopilot. So our thoughts sometimes are on autopilot and we are disconnected from our thoughts. And she says that the thoughts, they convert, or they convert, and they become, oh, No. So she says thoughts take covert operations to assassinate our self-worth. And that's pretty much what it is. So let me ignore these notes because I'll get confused real quick. Y'all, I'm all in y'all business. Look how close I am. I'm cute though, ain't I? All right, y'all. Sorry. So so what she was saying is that we are bombarded by thoughts, right? You turn on the television and you see so many different advertisements, whether it's on TV, whether it's on Instagram, Twitter, whatever it is, there's always advertisements. And usually what happens is with advertisements, they have a tendency to tell you that you are not perfect, that something is wrong with you, and you need to buy their products in order for you to look better, to do better, to feel better, whatever it may be, which of course you have people who do buy them and then they become a prime example of these types of advertisements. So like you see now a lot of people having a lot of BBLs, right? The body surgeries. And maybe 20 years ago, people would have augmentations, right? They would adjust certain things about them, but very rarely would you see people just open and willing to talk about the different surgeries that they're having. And so now it is that you are truly bombarded by it. It's not just in the magazines where you see these girls who have these, quote unquote, perfect bodies, but everything is directed to it. And one of the things, I'm the chunky girl, so I go to food, but like I said, I'm doing this fast, and I don't really watch TV that often because every other commercial is something about food, and I got TVs now. Don't get it wrong, but I don't have TVs in the living room or in my bedroom. So I don't really watch TV. Like I have to be intentional about what it is that I give my time to. And so, but when I do, like I said, when I do watch television or something, they have their infomercials, their commercials, they're either telling you that you're not perfect, that you don't look good and you need some makeup, or you need to have surgery, or you need to see a doctor, or they're telling you that you're sick and you don't know you're sick. And so you need to buy Tylenol or buy Excedrin or whatever else, Advil, that you're going to have a headache, or they tell you that you're hungry and to go to whatever restaurant there is that they're providing, or to, grab a Snickers, right? Why wait? Hungry? Why wait? Grab a Snickers, right? And these things because they are repetitively posting these things on, feeding it throughout those random moments where you are pausing from entertaining that mind numbing entertainment when you're watching television. Well, these thoughts get into your head, and whether you're sick or not, you're going to be like, oh, well, while I'm walking down Walmart, let me grab some of these pills just in case I have a headache. So now you're telling your body, sometime soon we need to have a headache. Or, you are you're walking in Walmart, you see the candy aisle and it's right there right before you go to check out, and you're like, well, let me grab this Snickers because, just in case I get hungry, I don't want to have to sit and wait a while, or let me get a Kit Kat because sometimes I might need to take a break, or whatever it may be, right? So they are literally programming you to purchase these items and to understand that you are not perfect and that these are what's going to need. And you're telling yourself unknowingly, you're preparing yourself for these things to come. And so these are different types of thought forms, right? They have energy behind them that brings up or brings about a cause. No, brings about an effect for the cause, which is your thought process is the cause. The effects of your thinking is what you do or how the world responds to you. That's a good one. I like that one, y'all. That set real good with me. And I heard that, I'm sure I heard that somewhere else because I read a lot, I listen a lot, but the way that was delivered, I like that. But we do have to work on becoming aware of our thoughts. If you want to change the world that you live in, if you want to change, I think wasn't that Michael Jackson that said it best? If you want to change the world, you got to start with the Man in the Mirror. Man in the Mirror is like my favorite song. That's like, if I ever have to get my life together, that's the song, that's the go-to. Even if I like in the past was upset at my job or whatever else, I listen to Man in the Mirror and then I'd be motivated to keep it pushing. But it's literally true, right? The only thing that you truly have control over is yourself. And if you are not controlling yourself, then you have lost control of your world and your universe. Because again, when you go back and you look at the video where I talked about the mind is all it consists of is your perspective and your feelings. And if you are unaware of your own perspective because your mind is flooded with thoughts that do not belong to you, then you're disconnected from your true self. And so in my classes, like I tell you guys about, that's what I try to do is I help people get more connected and understand one, the difference between their thoughts and others, and then become more connected with themselves so that they can truly start to identify what is successful in their life, what is needed, who they want to be, who they are, and where they want to go, where do they want to take themselves forward, right? And I always say, of course, when you're dealing in the moment, you do have to identify some things in the past. And I do help people realize and make connections to their past and how those things affect them, right? Effect with an E, right? How those things affect them today. But I am not a therapist. I do not deal with helping you ratify all of your issues from the past. You need a therapist. I go along hand in hand with a therapist and I help you to identify what is happening for you here right now, give you tools to identify how the past affected the here and now, but we work primarily on correcting the here and now so that the future can be a better version. You can be a better version of yourself and you can have exactly what it is that you desire and you want to have in the future. And these are things that I do with myself and I have done and to progress me and get me to where I am today. So this is why I'm doing the videos as well, because I want people to understand that you have control to change your today. We're not even worried about tomorrow. We're talking about today. You have control to change your today, your now, because now is the only time that truly exists. Yesterday is gone. You're not the same person you were a minute ago, much less 30 years ago or 2 years ago or whatever else, 50 seconds ago. That's the same as a minute almost, whatever. But you're not that same person. You are always able to adjust. And remember, we said you are constantly moving. You are constant energy. You are a vibration. And as you change your thoughts, you change the vibrational pool around you, and you can start to align yourself and manifest in your life exactly what you want and you desire. But again, the mind is number one to start to understand and start to go through and break down some of those programs that run in your subconscious mind, right? Because in the mind, we have your conscious, conscious, unconscious, and subconscious. And that subconscious mind is all the programming that you've picked up along the way from parents, teachers, through school, through church, through your relationships and interactions with other individuals. All of these pieces build who you are, build your perception, and build your automatic response, right? That automatic pilot that Renee was talking about in her book, Sonia Renee Taylor was talking about in her book. These things build those automatic responses, and then you have, what you are conscious of, right? Which is what you can change, and then your unconscious mind, which is a plethora of things and activity and energy. But however, once those unconscious things come up to the conscious, you want to be able to be aware of it so you can make adjustments. So that was what I wanted to bring to y'all today. And I hope that it made sense to you. I hope that you were able to learn something. Excuse me, if you want to have a conversation, again, y'all write in the comment section. Let me know. Let me know what you learned. Let me know, if you have any further questions, let me know if there's anything in particular you want me to talk about, something that you have as a question on your mind, on your heart. Maybe you've gone through some gut feelings and you're like, I think and I believe, but I'm not sure. Because I want to help you progress from a place of thinking and believing to a place of knowing, because when you know something is totally different, the energy shifts in your body when you know something to be a certain truth or to be a certain light. So definitely write down in the comments, let me know. Say, hey, I like the video. Hey, how you doing? Something. And at the top, go up and subscribe. Look, I don't know which way it's going to be, but go up, subscribe to the page, click on the reminder anytime that there's new videos being posted, that you could be the first one to jump into them, to listen, and to ask a question or have some type of commentary, whatever it is that you want to share with me. So you guys, again, I am grateful that you came, you watched the video, you checked it out. Hopefully you stayed to the end. For those of you who did, I love you. But you guys, I am gonna go. I don't want to make this too long, but yeah, I know some people who have like 8-hour videos. I don't even know why I'd be worried about how long it is, because if you really want to watch, you're gonna watch, and if you don't, you don't. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I hope that you guys are finding value in it. I love you guys. Always remember to be you, love you, remain true to you. And as always, I will see y'all later tomorrow, as a matter of fact. Peace. Bye.